So if I remember correctly, you would now be at 2 dex, 2 awareness,
Yes, which
Uh,
means
2 luck. And did you keep 2 hit points or did you lose all of them? Right. Yeah, we gotta nix that loser. We don't want him here.
Okay. So there we go. I wasn't live with my audio. Now I am. Solved my
Yeah, I
own
was gonna say
problem.
I'm not hearing anything.
Yep, here we
Tatiana, sound off.
go.
Sounding 1, 2. 1, 2.
There's a delay. It takes a second.
Jesus Christ, that delay.
Yeah. Now you know. Here's the peek behind the curtain.
Okay, you're good. We all have audio. We're all good.
All right. Okay. As Left said in the system there, in the chat, there's been a failure in the system. Tonight feels a little bit like system overload because shit's going wild, but it's not. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Mythcraft Country. I'm Jeff, your wicka MC. Yeah, that's your Mythcraft up in his bitch. And joining me,
Aggressive. I like it.
that's right, motherfucker. Joining me, as per usual, is Henry. But before we get into that, let me talk about what's unusual about tonight. Because normally I would have the lovely Maverick SD is Jordan McBain, but he decided he was gonna go do some shit. I think he's at fucking MagicCon in Vegas, which, you know, like, fucking play some Magic, I guess. Whatever. Do your thing. But we were supposed to work out a system to have him replaced. That got really fucky wucky in to hilarious effect. Let me tell you, I'm laughing on the inside hard. And our bestest boy, he let us know early, and yet somehow I still forgot. As Henry likes to call him, Father Time, Jay has like family stuff he's doing. You know, he's spending time with the family. And that means he doesn't have time for us. Because we're just not as important as his real family. And that's reasonable. 100% reasonable. Like, so instead,
Phooey.
we've got, as always, Henry.
Hey, howdy, hey. I'm Henry. I'm your friendly neighborhood klep who causes problems. And I have no idea what tonight is going to entail.
Shit, me neither, bud. And special guest tonight. You may have seen her in the chat as, oh, what is it? Celestial
Fairy Creations.
Celestial Fairy Creations. But tonight you get to see her in person as Tatiana.
Hi.
Go ahead and give yourself a little bit of a shout out at the top. Tell everybody about yourself.
Well, this is my first time ever playing a role-playing tabletop game, so forgive me if I'm going to ask a lot of questions and don't know what the hell I'm doing. Gosh, I don't know what else to say about myself. I am going to be playing a satyr named Sorrel Stargazer.
That's fun.
Yeah,
That's fun. We are really putting her through trial by fire tonight because she's never played any tabletop role playing game, and we said, "Here, do you want to learn one that's not super easy, and also, do you want to learn it live in front of people?" And she said, surprisingly,
And
yeah, I think
and
I
on
do
paper.
That. Yeah.
But this isn't 5e where you get
paper?
drop downs.
No. Old school pen and paper. You got to look through a book and shit. Like, this is really putting her through her paces for this evening. She's been
You can
lovely.
genuinely build a character in 5 minutes on 5e.
Easily.
A whole fleshed out character.
Easily.
This is ours.
Yeah. Much more work here. Much more work. But you know what? If you start out hard, everything else is easy. Let me tell you that much. Or as I like to say, adversity breeds strength. So we're going to have a little bit of adversity tonight. As I've already said at the top, we're missing some key members of our cast. So instead, we're going to fuck around. And we're gonna see where that takes us. We will hopefully have things more together by next stream, but this one's gonna be a little bit of fun, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We're gonna get into it and see exactly how we feel. Definitely keep your eyes peeled and your butts posted for what we're doing. If you haven't joined us up to this point, I'm going to try to make this quicker than I've ever made it before. They met in a tavern in a bridge city, went to a spooky fucking manor. One of them died, brought back to life. Desert butthole? Caravan. Spooky unicorn. City of Thieves. Lost library? Back to the City of Thieves, and that's where we are now.
I love it.
You were totally channeling Olaf recap.
I got it. I'm locked in. So that's where we've been up until this point, where how everything's gone. And in the last episode, I allowed them. I told them right at the end. I was like, "You're gonna get some downtime." Now, normally in this game specifically, it handles downtime in an interesting way, where you just kind of let it pass. You go, "Here's some downtime." I say, "Here's the amount of time that passes," and the game says, "Yeah, here's the shit you can do in that time." Like, for instance, do your profession. But we're going to get a little bit more micro, not so macro during this downtime, because, like, why the fuck not? I have to kill time. Listen, you're joining me for what's the fuck arounds. So I hope you've got a whole case of them. Anywho's, as per usual, it's a Friday night. So grab your drinks. Grip them and rip them. I already grip and rip mine because I've been fucking going. Give us a cheers.
I just want to point out, I opened that Diet Coke when I have this one, just so that I could grip it and rip it.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, but you don't have much left in the bottle, so you might as well.
Might as well.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know if I can do it without it. Someone's got to yell chug.
Chug,
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 chug, chug, chug, chug,
chug,
chug, chug. Oh! There's no way he could have made it through that without us yelling chug.
Absolutely no
Not a
way.
chance.
Anyway, is this going to be the most interactive we've ever seen Juris?
Yeah. Prepare for
Probably,
it.
yeah.
I have to be
Or-
one of you.
Or am I going to just tell Juris to leave me the fuck alone and then find an NPC?
No, I think Jairus is coming along with you. So let's
Damn it.
let's do a little bit of a more intense recap. You guys pushed your way hard as fuck through a mountain pass. So hard that there were some death points on the line. And in fact, Jairus is still suffering from some of those. Though not taking more, as he's lost the fatigue condition. If you've already erased the fatigue condition, good for you.
I put him back.
So we were able to get a good night's rest. The boys. So good a night's rest that some of them aren't really ready to hop to. And in fact, I'll even say a whole day passes by where nobody does shit. So 2 days later.
Okay. No death points either then. Cool.
Yes, now I can get rid of my death points as well as Jairus. But like, it only makes sense. Nobody does shit for a whole day.
Sneaky Jay. Or Jeff. I don't know why I said Jay.
Yeah, I was like, is Jay in the
Because
chat?
you're used to Jay being here.
Jeff was just trying to get rid of his death points. That's why he said, "Oh, we don't do anything the first day."
It just made sense to me. Anyways, so by the next day, Jordan goes off and you hear him say something to the effect of, I got stuff I'm gonna go try to do, like a, I don't know if I can be a guard or anything, but I think let's just take some time to chill out between jobs. And Jairus goes, whatever you want, mate. I don't give two hecks of a fuck right now. I'm gonna take some drinks. And Gaul similarly goes, I'm not too good at resting on my laurels, so I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna try to be a liar. and he goes off to do his barristery duties. Barristery.
To read some books.
He also wishes to read books, which he makes clear. He's going to read books. He might try to work as a barrister. We'll see how that works out. But that leaves the person who doesn't have a job and the person whose job is real saturated in this market. So, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make some secret rolls. Secret rolls.
14.
We need to have a soundboard for this stuff.
Secret. Oof.
I have one.
I don't like this.
My when they updated voice mod, it wiped out my entire soundboard, so I don't have sounds anymore.
That's depressing.
Yeah, because I have a soundboard right there.
Cards. It's in the fucking cards. So that's for my main man, Jawses. He ate for our sins. Gosh, that's blasphemous. I didn't think about maybe our audience. Whatever. Who cares? I do. I love you, audience. Energy. So that leaves the two people who I sure sound like doing nothing. One of them is jobless. The other one, he's like, I don't know if I should be thieving around here. So we find the two of them in a tavern. Drinks, of course, are on Jarrus because Klep never offers to buy first. So they're sitting there drinking. Jarrus looks over at Klep and says, well, so sounds like they're going to be busy for a little while, and I think we've got some time to hopefully stay out of trouble. What would you like to do?
I was trying to think about it, and I mean, to the best of my knowledge, you got some pretty sticky hands. And
I do, yeah.
I got free time, so I'm a pretty good distraction. You might be able to make some money on your end, throw some my way. You know, teamwork makes the dream work.
What an interesting...
You don't have an official job. I don't have any job.
Oh, no, I'm a working professional. It's just that in this place, I'm worried that a professional of my kind, my specific profession, may not be necessary. Or more actually,
if you can't do it, we don't need to.
Might end up with a knife in me. And then he leans in real close and he goes, listen, I'm trying not to get too seen out here. Because this is a big organisation out here. Everyone knows that. And the problem was, I acquired my sets of skills from another big organisation.
Very well.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I get it. Then maybe you, me, Winston, go out to town and check out some sites, see if there's any interesting entertainments in the town.
There might be. It's worthy of looking. Now, I'm going to pause this bit of the role play. And I'm going to take a moment. So, Sorrel. How would you describe Sorrel? First, physically. Then I want you to give me what makes Sorrel Sorrel.
Okay. Well, all right. Let me look at my notes because I wrote down a lot of stuff.
Hell yeah, look at him. Look at him. Beady beady beep beep beady doo doo. No music.
Okay, so first off, Sorrel is a satyr, a very pretty satyr.
So
She
pretty.
has long, about mid-thigh length hair
That's
kind of
long.
loose curls and has decorative braids and like jewels here and there to decorate it. She has, oh gosh, where's my stuff? There we go. Her bottom half is this really pretty, like roan auburn colored fur.
Oh, you can tell that she does art. She used the most interesting words for those colors. She could have been like, she could have used brown. Yeah, she could have like, no, it was roan and auburn. Anyway,
It's a red brown.
Yeah. She's about 33 years old, which is still kind of young because satyrs live about 100 to 200 years old. So
Sure.
her satyr horns are still kind of like, they're not super long, they're about mid-length. And the particular goat features I went with were from a fainting goat. I love fainting goats. So her ears are very normal goatish. It's not like the other goats with like the long ears.
Right. They're not super floppy and long. They're just kind of out a little, but they don't like stand up like goat ears don't usually, but some kind of.
Yeah.
But they're also not super tucked. Like there are goats that have very tucked ears.
Yeah, they're like kind of more like out to the side, kind of droopy.
I got you. Yeah, I'm picking it up.
She's about 5 feet. She's not super tall. She's not super short.
Yep.
She weighs about 180 pounds. Because she loves food a lot.
Okay. 5 foot, 180. Fair. I mean,
her eye color
she got who's
is lavender.
Lavender. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Does she have regular people eyes? This is just a weird question that I'm going to ask.
No, she actually has goat eyes. She's got that square pupil.
Weird.
But they're like center of the face.
They're not off to the side. But
yeah. That would be very interesting if it was the other way.
So pretty. Eyes way over here. Look at me.
When she's in the sun, her hair kind of gives this iridescent shimmer, which is fun.
Yeah.
What color was the hair again?
White.
White? Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's
the fur was auburn and roan, but the hair is white. It's different.
Well, if you look at fainting goats, a lot of them are spotted.
What shade of white?
White. There's what do you mean?
Bright white. Almost.
No, I was
like a towhead.
It's off
towhead white.
It's white. There's white and there's black.
She wears a. You're gonna really dig me for the artistry here.
Yeah.
An apricot orange blouse with medium bell sleeves. So they're not super big bell sleeves, they're like medium-ish. She wears over that she wears this deep purple vest that's embroidered with silver stars and vines, and the buttons are made from moonstones.
Neat. That sounds like it was pricey. Maybe not here, though. I don't know.
Celebrate and don't hold on to money very well. So,
love that.
And then over that, she wears this cropped coat. So it goes about high waist in length, and it's forest green. And it has floral embroidery along the edges. And the sleeves are like 3/4 sleeves, so they go about the elbow. So that way her blouse sleeves can come out and flourish.
Yeah.
And it has a hood. Gosh, I'm trying to remember.
That's so cool. Yeah. I have to hold back and not say the things that first come to my mind. But is she Winnie the Pooh in right now? I gotta know.
She's working her way down.
We haven't gotten there yet, and
Okay, explain what you mean by Winnie the Poohing.
Pants.
Shirt pants. Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Really
the first words were shirt cocking, and I held that back. So you're welcome.
She doesn't wear pants. They just get in the way, and there's no point. But her green coat is like it's a high-low, which a lot of girls, if you're watching, you know what that is. But what a high-low is that it's like short.
I don't think there's a lot of girls you gotta describe.
And it's longer in the back.
Yes, I knew what that meant. Yeah.
Okay. I was able to put it together on context clues, but I had to be sure.
Right.
Believe it or not, I know a thing or two about fashion. So yes, a high-low coat. I got that. Yeah.
So it kind of helps and it kind of bells out at the bottom a little bit, or around like her stomach area and stuff. So it's actually really, really pretty in my head. And then she wears a
Feel
brown
free to make art for yourself
with pouches for herbs. She has a recurve bow. And so she has her side quiver, her hip quiver with arrows, and a money pouch, which is always light because she cannot resist a glittery bauble. If it's got glitter and sparkles,
she's all about it. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Wonderful. All right, so no pants. All the top stuff.
Key detail. No pants.
No pants. Hey, I'm building a picture in my head.
What does she need it for?
Yeah.
Klep wears pants.
Klep is also covered in fur. So is Jorn. Both wear pants. This is why I asked.
Yeah, but you're both boys.
Sure. Fur covers the hoo-ha. Whatever. Moving on. I wasn't going to go there, but you did. So fuck it. Okay, yes. And she loves to eat. Wonderful. Let me hear a little bit more about her. Let me hear a little bit more about her as a personality. Tell me what makes her her, because you gave me a lot visually, which I respect. I do. I love that personally.
You always got to start out visually.
Yeah. But tell me what makes her her. When she's laughing in a bar, does everybody hear her? Right? How does she enter a room? Give me these sort of things.
Okay, well, first off, she is confident, but not overly so. She just kind of does her thing. She's not worried about what people think of her. She is loud, but not in like an overly loud voice. It's just she's got this personality that people can be attracted to.
Sure, sort of boisterous, but
Niffler is the creature in Harry Potter that steals shiny things.
Shiny things, yeah. She's very much. She doesn't steal though. She will pay her fair price. She is not an adrenaline junkie at all.
Plays it safe. Okay.
Very much so. She's empathic, so it makes it hard for her to somewhat trust her feelings because she's not sure if what she's feeling is truly hers or the people around her.
Okay. I can dig it.
She's kind of laid back when she walks. She's leisurely. She's not in a rush to get anywhere. She's there to, like, turn a phrase, smell the roses.
Mm-hmm.
She loves hugs. She thrives on hugs. Definitely loves food, animals, arts, colors, books, the moon and stars. She loves humming or singing while she's walking along the road. So she's pretty happy most of the time. She dislikes gold jewelry. She would prefer silver or any other metal.
Fucking me too.
She dislikes overly rude people, and she hates things or dislikes things that are more of like darker yellows, but she absolutely hates and will not touch or eat anything that is bright yellow. And she hates poachers.
Okay. Well, overly rude. We're gonna bump up against that soon, I'm sure. All right. So
And another key aspect of her is that she's fairly protective of people she's close to, but when it comes to herself, she more or less just lets things slide and walks away.
So, an important part of the Mythcraft system is the BOP system. That's background, occupation, and profession. I don't need to know what you do in combat because that's what a class is, and those are cool, but those don't really describe what you do. That describes what you do in combat for the most part, with some exclusion, but very minimal. I need to know what you do as a person. So tell me, where are you from? What do you do? That's going to be your background and your occupation. Work that into what that means for you. I'm going to give you a little nudge, a little helpful nudge here.
So I didn't look at the map, so I don't know exactly.
Doesn't matter.
I can't tell you a town or whatever. But she's from the forest. She's okay. There we go. Well, she's there now.
She's probably from basically the same place that she can be from here. In fact, Falth has got a lot of forest around it.
There you go.
There you go. Perfect. She's much more of an outlander, so she's more outskirts. Doesn't like a whole lot of people because of that, but she does let company once in a while. And then she's very much a nomad. That is her profession. She likes wandering from town to town. Actually, because she loves food so much, she loves to cook, and therefore she's traveling around, like learning different recipes and picking up different spices to make her own creations.
Sure. Because you're a nomad, you get a beast of burden. Do you want just like a horse, or do you want something special?
I'll go with a horse.
Okay. Cool. So you got a horse.
Horses.
Wonderful. So that's great. So you just travel around, you cook. Maybe you're learning more about cooking. Maybe that's part of your whole thing. You go from like town to town, and you work as a cook in different places. You're like, yeah, I'll take some work. Don't worry, I got you. Let me in your kitchen and watch what I do. Right. Like you say, confident. But
I will pour a mean glass of milk. You wait.
I'll make you a mean Oreo to go with it.
There we go.
Wild. What a weird thing. Oreo. Anyways.
Oreo. I love that guy.
He's so great. So you travel around town to town, just exploring, learning. You like being wild and free. You're originally from Falth, let's say, but from the forests of Falth, not necessarily from the cities of Falth. You know what it's like around here, so you're not necessarily some rube. But you also know, like, steal my coin if you can. I've probably spent it already.
Yep.
So these are the things about you that I'm gathering, right? I'm going to take a little bit of liberty here with you. So you make your way back to Falth. You've been traveling for a little while now, a good amount, right? Because you've gotten a chance to see the world, gain some experience, level up, and stuff like that, right? But you found your way back. You've decided to come back for whatever reason. I'll let those reasons be yours. But you're familiar with this city of Dirge, which is where we're at, just to be clear. We're in the city of Dirge, in the sort of area of Falth. You're familiar with it. Fuck, whatever it is. Whatever, city-state? I don't know. Territory? Principality? Who cares? So you're familiar with Dirge. Dirge is the sort of gateway to this whole, to the whole side of the map that you've just been on. You've seen a lot of desert. You've seen a little bit of the forest on the other side of Bridgemore. You've come back. You've gained new spices. A lot of spices in the desert. You don't think that, but trust me, like basing it on real world for whatever reason, you go through the desert and there's spices in there somewhere. It's strange. So like you've got some new stuff. And I'll even say that you've worked at some of these, at least one of the establishments here. So I'm going to have you tell me how you come into this tavern that they're in, because now we're going to bring you in. I let you describe yourself. I let you really establish who you are to the people. We're going to bring you in. But tell me, how does Sorrel enter this tavern, knowing that you've probably worked here before, but you can always, I'm not going to make these decisions for you, choose to have not. And maybe that's why you're here. Who knows? How do you enter?
She tumbles backwards to the door, sword drawn, 5 guards at her feet.
That is a you thing, not a me thing. Okay,
First off,
question.
If it was him, it's tumbled through the door, sword drawn, 7 guards, all of them already confused and angered, and he's probably going to lose. Anyways, how do you enter?
Okay, quick question. What is the barkeep's name?
Fuck, you asked me a question already.
Jebediah.
Yeah, fuck it. Jebediah. Jebediah Stain.
Okay. That's actually pretty good. So, Sorrel enters with not flair, but she just opens up the door confidently and just strides up to the bar sitting right next to Klep and basically says, "Hey, Jebediah, I'm back." Oh God, I should probably do it in the voice. I'm just so into this.
You should. Yeah. Debut that for us.
Okay.
Trial by fire.
Yeah, they gave me a couple hours to put all this together, so
Sure did.
never fault.
You could have said no.
I know, but this is exciting. Anyway,
Tonight's stream is brought to you by Mead. It's great. Try it if you get a chance. If you
very good.
No. What are you trying to get us fucking canceled? Just fuck out of here. I'm trying to make money off these streams, goddammit. Shut your fucking mouth.
God.
So
all right.
hit us with
Sorrel's
the voice.
Hey, Jebediah. I'm back from my travels. I would love some of your glorious stew. I am starving.
Sure. I'll bring you some stew right now. Don't you worry.
Thank you.
And you really hear that from the back as like he's not really in the front right now, hilariously. And you hear some pots. You hear like the clanging of pots and pans or whatever. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Get you a good one. And then he comes out with a steaming bowl of what is, as you know, as a dedicated foodie, is a endless stew, right? It's one that is constantly cooking, constantly getting added to. So he brings it out. It's great. It's piping hot. Well, not too hot, but nice and warm in a bowl, big haunch of bread. And goes, here you go.
Thank you, Jeb. This is so good. This tastes off. Did you add something?
Yeah, I got some new well, they're like, I was told they seem a lot like onions, but they're in a different shape. I thought they'd be good in it.
They are so good. This is perfect. Where did you get them?
Oh, I went over to the old market, and you know how markets around here work. It's a revolving door of different things.
Yeah.
But, I talked to my guy, and he gives you a wink.
Your guy. Yeah. And you still refuse to tell me his name.
Well, why would I give away secrets like that?
Very true. From one foodie to another. Hey, boy. Talking to Club. Have you ever tried this stew? It's so good. Highly recommend.
I don't think I have tried the stew. Jairus, have you tried the stew?
No, I've been on a liquid diet. As he raises his mug.
Oh, that won't do. You have to try it. Hey, Jeb, give these two gentlemen some stew on me.
Those two?
Yes, these two.
All right. And then he goes back to the back and comes back out with 2 more bowls, 2 more haunches of bread. He goes, now you boys better enjoy it.
Well, I definitely plan on it.
Jairus
Smells
goes,
like
all right. Food's food, I guess.
Food's food? How could you say food's food? Food is art. It is creation. Appreciate your food.
He raises his mug and he goes, this is my art. Well, no, it's not. But this is good enough. And he goes, but I'll try the fucking stew or whatever.
Is the meat
Clep,
yellow?
Yeah.
Ew, why would you eat or drink anything with yellow? That's yellow.
It's like a pale yellow. Just like this.
Ugh. You're ruining your palate for the stew.
I built my palate for this. What do you mean I'm ruining it?
Clep very haphazardly grabs the entire haunch of bread and just dunks it in the stew repeatedly, not splashing like abrasively, but definitely splashing as he's doing it, and then just takes the messiest bite of that haunch of bread and stew.
Oh, yeah. Stew on both sides of his face.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how is it?
Good? I don't know. He rolled for it.
I've had better.
Better than this stew? How is that possible? Where did you go?
I mean, I've just had better. It's nothing super great. It's stew.
Where have you been? Because obviously I have not been there. I must know.
I mean, Bridgemore's got some decent food.
Such an interesting moment that you passed up there.
Wait, who passed out?
Henry. But I can't do I can't do it for him, so I'm gonna move on.
No, I want to hear. I want to hear what I missed.
I'm gonna move on. Jairus rips off a piece of his haunch of bread and he dips it in and he goes, he puts it in his mouth and he eats it. He takes a bite and he goes, he kind of hums and haws a little bit as he's chewing and he goes, well, I mean, I'm not really, I'm not super familiar with home cooked food, but this feels like what that should feel like. So that's good, I think. I don't know. No one needs to hear my sob story, but this is fine. I like it. It's good.
But it's not the best.
I don't know what is the best. Madam, I'm not going to lie to you. I may not be the one to really test what's the best here.
Madam, I'm not that old. I'm all but 33.
Well, I wasn't saying you were old. I was trying to be respectful.
My name's Sorrel.
You see what happens, Jairus? You try and be nice once and look at you.
I know. Should have been an asshole. That's what I'm used to.
Well,
what did you say your name was?
Sorrel.
My name is Sorrel.
Sorrel, I'm
Sorrel
Jairus.
Stargazer.
Sorrel, I'm Jairus. Jairus Leroux. Pleasure's mine.
Nice to meet you.
You familiar with the area?
Yeah, I would say so. I grew up in the forest just outside town.
No. Something like John then. But you don't look to be the same type as him, so probably not in the same place.
Maybe not.
Clep stands on top of what I assume is a bar stool, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I
Klep
am.
stands up to his full height on this bar stool and goes,
And I would be Clipton Gray. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Gray.
And where have you say this is the best stew you've had? Where have you been for food? If
I have been all over. I travel for food. I'm looking for new recipes and spices. I here helped invent this stew. So of course it's the best.
I see the attachment. Now it makes sense. It's all clearing up.
Jerry takes another bite and he goes, "What type of meat is this?" And the man, the what's his name? Jedediah.
Yeah.
Which one was it?
Jebediah.
Jebediah goes, "Oh, this time around, it's a venison." "Oh, so it's deer." Yeah, yes. Yeah. Yes.
That's what he said.
Venison, yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's not bad.
Klep leans over to Jarrus.
Why do they call deer venison? I never understood that.
Jarrus does exactly this. He looks at you. Was pig pork?
Why is cow beef and chicken?
He leans in and he goes, "A real mystery for you to solve. Better get out your notebook and start scrolling away your notes." And then he leans back, takes a sip, and takes another bite of stew.
I'm gonna make a canon decision right here.
You know I don't know how to write.
Well, that's a shame. How do you make up your recipes? All from memory? Nobody can remember everything.
A deep belly laugh comes from Jared. Recipes. I've never seen that boy cook anything.
Well, you have to learn. How else will you survive?
You eat food as it's packaged or purchased.
That is a grave sin. No.
Or taken
you have
from
to
a
use
tree
them. They
or
are
a bush or
ingredients.
whatever he did for how many years he was doing that.
Yeah, like he said, I could just go grab some berries. Berries are good.
They're not a full meal.
Depends
Berries
how
are good
many
in
you
pie.
eat.
Sorry, what did she say? Because it depends how many you eat. Drowned her out.
I said, berries are good in pie. Berries are an ingredient. They're used in all sorts of yummy food.
Yeah, well, I do a lot of traveling these days, and restaurants and taverns aren't really an occurring thing these days.
Do you make a fire?
Yeah?
Well, then you have part of the ingredients of cooking. You can totally make more stuff.
But
You need
I don't
to
know how to
combine your
cook,
ingredients.
as my friend has stated.
You need to learn to cook.
Maybe I'll roast up some berries on the trail.
This is the look you get from Jarrus. Jarrus
Roast
leans over.
berries?
Jarrus leans over and he goes, "Listen, this is important. He doesn't know how to take care of himself. I mean, he does, but in the most basic way. We've been teaching him. And to be honest with you, I understand his life. I'll cook most of my meals on the end of a stick if possible. So, it's not really a luxury for types like us that we get to enjoy often, unless it's in this here setting. Does that make sense?"
That is so sad. You need to have a cook in your group. You need somebody to make you good food.
Why?
Because food is life.
Life
Except
is
yellow
life.
food. Yellow food can go die.
So, as he continues to eat his stew, he goes, "So, what brings you back then, Miss Sorrel the Traveller?"
Or I'm just back for a visit to, refresh and recoup. See what new merchants have come into town, those that I have missed along the road. See old friends, that sort of thing. I won't be staying long. I'm actually going to head out, I would say, in a couple days.
Right. Fair enough. Well, and Jairus kind of elbows Clep. He goes, looks like we found someone who can show us what's worth doing, huh?" And he flashes that weird, not weird, but not extremely settling smile of his with his fangs.
His what's the word? Uncanny Valley smile.
It's not necessarily Uncanny Valley, but it is unsettling. Uncanny Valley is like a different experience. He's so very clearly not human. That's what Uncanny Valley means. It's like, oh, you're almost human. This one's like, no, dude.
I was going more for the feel of it. The unsettling, like, we know he's smiling, but
It's like he doesn't know how to smile. He's just trying.
is not really smiling.
I wouldn't call it that. I'd call it like, that's a smile, but it's like when you see like, it's like if you saw a bear smile at you, you'd be like, okay, that's kind of cool, but also that's still a fucking bear. Like, you know,
Okay.
It's not like he doesn't know how. It's like, oh, that's a smile, but I'm still scared on the other end of it. You know?
That's not how I took it. I'm glad for the clarification.
Yeah. That's what a smile looks like. It's kind of like he smiles, you see these fangs and these teeth, and it's like, you know, he's fiendish. It's like it's like the devil smiling at you. Like, you can't really trust that. Like, you like, even if you think you can, you're like, okay. I think this is good, right? That's good.
Stop looking at me. You're gonna scare her away.
Nah, I don't scare that easily.
If you could see
I've met too many people.
If you could see the roll in the black pools that is in his eyes, you would. You can't. But if you could, rolled his eyes, ugh.
You can still get it off the eyelid and eyebrow movement.
So you guys are looking for entertainment, something to do?
I mean, that's the plan.
Well, there is a traveling bard just down the road. We can go listen to him. He tells great stories.
Wonderful, yes, and you're new. And you yes-anded right into that. I didn't even feed you anything. That's wonderful.
I just love the yes and that's gonna follow.
I have no idea what any of that means, but okay.
Yeah.
Yes and is the first rule of improv. You never want to tell your party members no, like explicitly no. You always want to do like yes and.
Yeah. So the idea is you're always building. Which is to say you can say no, but it's either yes and, where you add something to it,
I've seen those skits.
or no but. So you're still adding something to it, but you're always building. That's the first rule of improv. Keep building, because if you don't build, you dead end the scene.
Got it.
Good work building. Yeah.
Yes.
And sure, we can go see a bard. I guess you want to see a bard, Clep?
Hey, it sounds pretty cool. I like a good story.
Oh, and then afterward, we can all go shopping for spices. You guys have to experience spices.
I assume you get a very similar look from both of them. And Clep even looks at Jairus with a spices look. and then looks back at Sorrel and goes, "Shopping for spices?"
Yes, they make up the entire meal. You can have a nice cooked like steak, or you can have steak. You can have just soup.
You truly get a perplexed look from Jairus as you like the difference just completely goes over his head. Like, what do you mean, steak or steak? Like,
you can add so many herbs and spices to it to create these different complex flavors.
All right. Well, hey, I mean, I got nothing to do. Maybe I can find something interesting in the spice place.
hopefully. I mean, I guess, I don't know. Listen, I don't know much about spices. I know about salt. I do use salt.
Salt is very important.
Do you think poison is a spice?
He leans over to Jairus to say that. He leans over to Jairus to say that.
Jairus leans over and goes, No. I don't think poison's a spice. But
well, technically, poison is the spice of death.
And now you've leaned into these two that are leaning into each other, and I think both of them look at you like this is strange.
Yep.
And then,
100% what I was gonna say.
And then they go, and then at least for Jairus' part, he quietly nods. Sure.
Hold up. I like this even better because this is imagery that we completely glance over in that. She had to have gotten up from her seat, walked around me to get between us and stick her head in.
And which is a very interesting feat because I don't have anything to like cushion or like soften my hooves tapping.
Oh yeah, no, she just fucking clopped her way around. Clop, 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 clop. And she does that. We both look at her like, And then a quiet nod from Jairus' side, followed by a long
Clep
pause.
just looks at her and goes,
So we can buy poison there?
It's a different, darker alley of spices. You can get that, but I wouldn't recommend. Doesn't taste very good.
It's not what I've heard. I've heard some poison tastes like almonds. Almonds are nice. Never tasted it personally. So you guys finish your, or everybody finishes their meal. Jairus finishes his drink. Along the course, he probably finishes too. So, because he's like, I'm gonna need it for this fucking walk. And he gets up, and I think that this is something that Klep's already seen, but you would notice that he walks sort of slow and tender. Because for those who weren't there, that hard march really fucking hurt Jairus. So he walks slow and tender on his feet in his boots. And he's like, all right, here we go.
Are you okay, Jairus? You seem to be a little tender-footed.
Yeah, it's fine.
You sure?
It's fine. And then he reaches back to the barkeep and he goes, give me one of them bottles to go. Lays down some coin, puts a bottle in his hand, and goes, all's fine now. And sips on his way out.
Nasty.
Club hops down, pats Winston on the head, who's been sitting there with him. Good boy.
Did he feed Winston any stew?
Yeah.
Missed that opportunity.
Are you guys leaving extra stew?
No, Winston ate it all.
Oh.
Well, there's at least somebody who enjoys a good meal.
Jairus ate,
Just the
You
dog.
feed your dog.
Jairus ate all his stew. It's a free meal. He's gonna fucking eat the fuck out of it. Are you kidding me? He ate it all. He was like, yeah.
Oh, Clep ate his
best
fill,
price.
but I imagine he was served a normal serving size, not
Which
a
is too big
Klepping
for you.
serving size. Clep doesn't need all of it.
Yeah. You leave the tavern, and as you leave the tavern, I need. All right, here it is.
Dexterity
inaugural. Yep, everybody, dex checks. No, I'm gonna need awareness from everybody. Funny.
Does an 8 hit?
And it's a D20, right?
Yep. So
Yeah.
you're new here. Most time when I ask for any sort of roll, it's almost always going to be a D20 in this system specifically. You're going to roll a D20. You're going to add your awareness. Now you can petition in this system for that to include things like perceiving or investigating. That'll be entirely up to you.
Okay.
Does perceiving apply?
Perceiving does apply.
Okay, then an 11.
I have a 14.
Is that plus perceiving or?
No. Hang on, do I have it? Where is it? Yes. Okay, so I do have perceiving. So that would actually be, I said 14?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
18.
18.
Wow.
All right. So as you start walking through the city, two things you notice. That Jarrus closes, like right away, and like this is something you would notice because you haven't traveled with him before. Jarrus closes his cloak, which his cloak has a high cowl that goes about up to where his nose would be. Closes it all the way with his bottle tucked away underneath it. So you can't really see his arms or the bottom half of his face as he sort of moves around. And the other thing that you notice is that as he's moving around, Jarrus specifically, actually, at first you notice that anybody that looks like they're sort of a part of the organization around here, they see Clep right away. For whatever reason, they are looking at Clep. Like anybody who's a part of the what do they call these? It's not a mafia. Whatever. The criminal organization here. Yeah, that's getting a little loud here.
The TV's getting a little loud in the background.
I muted her for now. I'll unmute her when it's important.
Okay.
So the first thing you notice is that anybody who's part of the sort of criminal organization that runs this city notices Clep right away. Easily. Like they picked him out of a crowd. But they don't do much. They just notice him. Then you notice, on top of that a lot of people start looking or start sort of noticing Jarrus. Now, you might be able to assume this has something to do with his lineage, as he does kind of stand out as the fiend blood. But I think that even you notice, like, that's probably more attention than he would get even just for that. Jarrus, far too busy going, ooh, to notice shit. Clep, you don't notice anything either. You're just like, where's this guy at? Are we going to get there soon? But Sorrel 100% notices. I don't know. I'm going to lay this at you if you do anything about it, but that is something you notice. People are looking at Jarrus. Like, just random people, it feels like.
So they're focused more on Jarrus?
Yeah.
Oh.
Interesting. Okay. So Sorrel's kind of looking around, noticing all the looks and stuff. Gets closer to Jarrus and goes, Jarrus, why are people looking at you? They're looking at you kind of strange. Why are they looking at you?
Jarrus turns to you swiftly and goes, what do you say?
People are looking at you.
And then he starts looking around, paranoid-like. And he
Clep
goes,
as well.
he goes, how many people have been looking at me?
I don't know, like
Like a good
people,
amount of
like
them? Any of them from from Felson's gang here? Yes.
uh, is that a yes?
Yes.
Uh, yeah. Why is that?
He goes. He looks around nervously, and then he ducks off into an alley that looks like there's nobody in it, and he kind of leans up against the wall, and then he opens his cloak enough, uncorks the bottle, and you just see him take just a big chug of the bottle, and then he puts it down on the ground, and he goes,
Sorrel rushes over.
I was
Are
gonna say
you
Clef
okay?
and Winston follow and turn their like as they enter the alleyway. Clep and Winston pass you and then turn around, and Clep puts his hand on his boomerang.
Okay, so Sorrel's more on the opened end of the alley. I'm like blocking a little bit.
"Sure."
If that's where you went,
Yeah, I didn't enter the alley. I'm more like on the
yeah.
outside facing.
She's establishing that. Yeah, absolutely. Good work. Good work establishing position. Look at you're catching on. See, you listen and you just start to understand how it works. So what did Sorrel say?
Are you okay, Jettis? What's going on?
Jarrus is kind of like looking nervously around and at the ground, and then he goes,
Y'all are jumpy.
Listen, so, you know how things work in this city, right?
Yeah.
This city is controlled by a certain syndicate. Most of these cities are controlled by a certain syndicate. Some of those syndicates are pretty big. Some of them aren't. That's not super important. This is what is super important. I've been trying to keep my head low in this city.
Well, you're kind of tall.
I'm aware. But I mean more figuratively. I've been trying to keep my head low in this city because I kind of got my start in this business in a pretty well-known syndicate. One that's pretty well-known all across Ansera.
Ansera's the whole place you're in.
And
So, friends?
no, they're not here. And I unfortunately almost definitely still bear some of the markings of that syndicate. Some of those things you can't get rid of. I have tried. I've hoped to go unnoticed up to this point. If the people start noticing me, it's one thing. I would prefer not to be dragged into Felson's organization's business over this. Because you see, all these syndicates compete, and all the ones that are from here, well, they have a sort of non-compete, where they don't interfere with each other too much. Mutually assured, one might call it. But the one I was from, not so lucky. And if they think I'm with him, well, let's just say
trouble.
it's not a good time. So when you said people start noticing me, it means they're paying more attention. And it ain't good.
Clep hops
dear.
off Winston and gives him a and Winston goes behind him.
Jarrus goes, I don't think that anyone's gonna attack us in the streets. It's not usually the way things work, as far as I know, in this city. But what I do think is that if they think I'm from the Scorpions, they think I'm trouble.
Is this mark visible right now?
He kind of looks around and he uncovers the back of his neck kind of behind his ear. And I turned away from Mike. So hard to hear me when I do that, huh? Uncovers the back of his neck sort of behind one of his ears. And back there is a scar. It's not like a tattoo. It's like a scar. Almost like a brand, but closer to scarification, if you're familiar. And it is in a distinct shape, but that doesn't it's not evocative of a scorpion, right? Because that's too on the nose. But it is a marking nonetheless. And he goes, "This is the only one I can't really get rid of. The rest of them I've changed my clothing and things like that, but this one
It's the Scorpio Zodiac M.
Hey,
That's it.
I mean, astrology's a thing.
Scorpio season. So yeah, it's a clear marking that again, to you probably wouldn't understand. You've never been in this business. But you can see the marking, and you can even see that there's some sort of scratches around it, as if maybe he had tried to scratch it out, but because it's in a place he can't really see super well, wasn't successful.
Would Klep have a chance to know, being an urchin and not necessarily a thief, but walking similar paths?
I don't think so, but I will give you what will be a pretty hard check to try. This will be an intelligence-based check.
Okay.
And we're looking...
I just feel like there's a chance that he could have heard word of it. I'm not saying it's a strong one, but there's a chance. I didn't get it. I rolled a 12.
Yeah. No. Klep has no idea. Now, what I will say is you don't recognize the markings, but you travel. So if you'd like, you can make an intelligence check. It wouldn't be super hard for you to recognize scorpions. The scorpions.
Okay. Intelligence check.
Intelligence-based check, yes.
So roll your d20 and then add your int.
I got an 8.
You also have no idea who the scorpions are, what the fuck he's talking about.
Can I add my persuading, Jeff?
You can't
What are you
persuade
trying to
knowledge.
persuade?
You can't persuade knowledge. I don't know.
He's trying to persuade the
me?
DM.
Yeah. Yes, you can. I'll add that in negative. Oh, no. What's your roll now?
Now it's a 4. Klep thinks you've always been with Felson.
So he shows you the marking and he goes, listen, you two don't have to get wrapped up in whatever I'm about to get wrapped up in. But if people have noticed me, it's probably not long before I get dragged into some bullshit. You can make your choice.
In the middle of this, Klep takes 2 steps forward and grabs Jareth as high up as he can grab.
It's like, I don't know.
Which isn't high.
Yeah.
Pulls on his cloak.
Okay. Pulls him down a little.
Yeah.
Almost pulls himself up more than Jareth's down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your problems are my problems. We've been dealing with all this shit for too long. If you got shit, we got shit.
Does Jareth have a hood?
No. Because he has horns. So a hood has never been advantageous for him. Hoods get stuck on his horns, or worse, he tears holes in them with his horns.
Okay.
Because unlike you, his horns go up.
Yeah. And
mine do too. They're just like little ones.
Unlike Klep, who has holes cut out in his hood, he can't just like pull it back. I could still just like pull it back through my ears. My ears will flop back. You can't do that with horns.
Yeah. It's either like it gets stuck on the horns, or it's behind the horns, and then it's
But he
like,
does
what's
have
the
a
point?
high,
Because the horns are
like
there.
turtleneck, almost flare.
Yes, the high.
Yeah, he's got his. It's like the collar up kind of a thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But it goes about, like I said, to about where his nose is, all the way around his head. So like that helps conceal him for the most part.
For imagery for people,
A little.
I think the
That's
best
what
way to describe it is similar to that of an Akatsuki cloak.
Very
If you're
similar
familiar.
to an
Wrong,
Akatsuki cloak.
There we go.
Yes, very similar to an Akatsuki cloak. That's the basic idea. It's like high collar, high cowl, however you want to call it, cloak that covers about half of his face when closed.
And makes your body very indescribable.
Yes. It just rolls off the shoulders, and it's mostly shut in the front as well, so.
Mm-hmm. Very much. No details.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever tried to get that, healed? Or disappeared through magic or something?
Jers looks at you kind of sideways, and he goes, "You know that that's pretty. Do you know many charitable casters who just decide they're like, yeah, I'll do this for you, no problem? Because in my experience, magic has a cost. I don't know how to use it, but I know it costs money."
Okay. I might know somebody. He uses magical herbs, but he might be able to help.
The scar has been on me since I was a teenage boy. This look I wasn't born with. It happens over time. So this happened, and then, shortly after this happened, find yourself in weird places when you don't look like you belong anymore.
That's a very sad outlook.
At this point, Klep is gonna walk to the end of the alleyway, Winston in tow, and just kind of do a cursory glance around and see if he can see anyone. Would you like me to roll again, or no? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, roll again. Roll again. Listen, I'm flying so by the seat of my pants right now. This is more in my head than normally I am.
They are fucking everywhere. They are everywhere.
How bad a roll?
I rolled a nat 1. Klep instantly.
Everybody's the
upon
enemy.
Upon seeing this, it feels like everyone is staring at him, and he 100% grabs his boomerang and just at stance.
Sure,
and just looking around at everyone.
Yeah, everyone's the enemy within. Donald Trump, moving forward.
He's prepped in action. And he rolled an 11 for initiative.
All right. Since I'm not going to roll initiative for passersby, I'm just going to let you live in that space for a little bit. We're going to go back to the space that's not probably going to throw a boomerang at some random dude.
And blow up everything.
I didn't want to do this. I'll have you know.
I'll have you know that it doesn't matter apparently what you wanted to do, because this is what you are currently doing.
The dice are telling the story.
What a story. Like I said, this is all fucking seat of my pants in the first place. Fuck it. My advice, though, small as it may be, maybe don't get everyone kicked out of the city before they get back. You know,
I don't
just a tidbit.
Honestly, how you interact with that is gonna be what decides that. Because my plan is not to have Klep attack anyone.
Okay.
But in his mind, he is worried.
Sure. Yeah, everyone's the enemy.
A clip. If you're trying to lay low, you might want to put that away and stop standing near the
They're
alley
everywhere.
entrance.
They are all over the place. You do need to back up and stay safe. Jairus, there are so many of them. Why did you not tell me about this any sooner?
Cheers, with a puzzled look, looks at you and looks out at just the regular public, and he goes,
Listen, let's get ahead of this, maybe. Do you want to try to sneak our way out? Let's try that, maybe. Or we could... way I see it is two options. I'll try to sneak my way out. You can come with me, of course. Young Miss Sorrel does not have to. You, as I say, aren't really involved, but kinda. So maybe they'll ask you some questions, but you'll be fine, I think. Or the slightly worse is go straighten things out with Felsen right away, or at least Felsen's people. Hopefully that goes well. Can't say for sure. On the other end of that, the truth of the matter is there's several different organisations in here, and though one of them is the syndicate that runs this place, the others have vested interests, such as the people we work for, Kleb. And if they hear about this, that might be bad as well. Because if they think I'm working for the Scorpions, they are going to think that I might betray them, which would be bad, big bad.
Judging by my count, there's at least 30 out here, so we should probably go clear things up with Felsen before these people lose it.
30? I didn't see 30.
Yeah, you barely see 30 people moving around. Like, you see people. It's the middle of the day. People are moving around, but it's not the
I went
same
with
30.
a safe amount of people that could be seen.
No. You could easily see 30 people. Like I said, there's probably 30 people there. But if we're talking about 30 contiguous people, no way in hell. You just walked off a main road. There's people coming and going. Like, there's no way that you're seeing 30 of the same people over the past minute and a half. Like, it's just... like, you're looking from a...
No, 30 people total.
Sure.
He thinks they're swarming around.
Yeah. No, I'm telling her this. I'm letting Klep believe whatever
okay.
Klep wants to believe. When Sora looks out, she's like, I don't think that you could even see 30 contiguous people. Like this, these are 30 different people than there were 30 before. Like, this is, and now it's 25. Now it's 15. Ooh, it's 35 now. Like, people are moving, right? Like, nothing of what he just said really makes sense to you.
I think you're a little paranoid, Klep.
Well, maybe we should just go get this settled just in case. To Felsen?
Well, I don't imagine we'll see Felsen right away, but maybe we can find one of his underbosses. I was talking to one a while back. We were talking to one a while back. We might be able to find him.
Let me scroll through my
Are you talking
stuff.
about the Ketik?
No. Definitely not talking about the Ketik.
That's the wrong thug. Where's the other thug? Did I never give him a name?
Taking
I might
him,
know.
chase his notes.
Chasing my
Making him
notes.
chase his notes.
Chasing my notes.
Ooh,
I
ooh.
like the audible that you pulled, Jeff, though, so that you didn't have to be a bard that just tells a story.
He got out of that one real quick.
Believe it or not, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is a play element I'd meant to bring in as soon as we got to Falth, where I would make rolls
believe it.
quietly. I forgot to make some of those rolls. There's a part of the kimono here. I forgot to make some of those rolls, so I just rolled like 4 times, and they were all real bad rolls. And I was like,
yeah.
well, some shit's gotta go down. That's for fuck sure.
Yeah, that Klep definitely wants out of that alleyway. He is paranoid as shit. He says, we need to go apologize now. I don't know what you've done, Cheris. I don't know what you've done, but you done fucked it.
There was a certain kind of mushrooms in that stew. I'll tell you that much, I guess.
The one time Klep is actually trying to lay low, he rolls a nat 1 and instantly becomes paranoid.
Super paranoid. All right. Yeah. So Jairus goes, we might be able to get audience with Gabbro. He was one of Felson's underbosses, the dwarf.
Yeah, I remember him. Real grumpy.
Yeah. So let's see if maybe we can talk to him. Maybe we can find the one that Gaul was friendly with, Garrick. You know, the Uruk.
Yeah.
Urkow. There it is. I was getting there. You know, the Urkow, the brown one.
Yeah, the nice one. The boisterous one.
That's the one.
I think I'm going to tag along. Maybe I can help. Food always helps.
He looks at you and he's like, you got more food on you?
Klep,
I can make
I
food.
feel like you're going to continue to get perplexed looks from both of these people almost any time food is mentioned.
Food is life. Food is a peace offering.
Do you have it on you now?
No, but I can make something. I figured I'd make him his favorite meal, but better.
Shrugs.
Klep is losing his paranoia just out of sheer confusion at this point and kind of just climbs back on Winston with this look, just like, okay.
Fuck it. Yeah.
I did not create this character with food as the center of it, but apparently it's becoming that.
Hey,
you could have fooled me. You
Well, that's
could have
also part of-
fooled me. Shit.
That's also part of the RP, though.
Yeah.
The characters start building themselves at some point.
Yeah, eventually a character gets their own legs, and that's part of my favorite part about playing these games. Is eventually you're like, I didn't really think about that as a decision I would make for this character, but somehow I made it. So I guess that's what the character wants.
Like
I just
Klep
heard
not
my
knowing
brother
how to write.
laughing so loud.
He can read, but he can't write.
That's so weird.
Klep's just always struggled with pencils. Just never made sense to him.
That's such a weird. What a way to take that. So he's not illiterate.
Correct.
I have to put that in a note somewhere. Klep can't write. Can read. Can't write.
Yeah.
Fucking bullshit is this? Yeah, so
How much money do I have on me?
150 SC seems fitting for where we're at.
yeah, I mean, how much money do you think you have left? Like, I would agree with him. 150 FC is perfectly fair, but you also made it sound.
Yeah. So,
What?
if your character had 150, how much do you think you have now?
How much do you think is the bare minimum
70.
she keeps? Okay, then that's what you
70.
got. You got 70.
Okay. There we go. That was a good clarification.
Mm-hmm.
Before we meet this character, we need to go buy some spices because I don't have everything on me. And I want to get some crucial spices.
Do you carry like a bag, like a backpack?
No,
she
I
said
just
that
carry
she carries
a
a belt
pouch.
with pouches on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm establishing that. I know what she said. I'm
Okay.
establishing things for the sake of I want to know where this is gonna go. because
Given the context, I'm gonna do a player tip. The GM is saying that he highly recommends you have a bag of sorts, but is not gonna outright say it. Is giving you the option. So, as a player, I recommend you say,
no,
"Yeah, she carries a bag."
Welcome to playing a role-playing game one-on-one. The things you say you have are the things you say you have, and I'll remember that. So if you say, I got belt pouches, I'm going to remember what the biggest belt pouch I've ever seen in my life looks like. And I'm going to be like, what the fuck can you keep in that? So when later you're like, I'm going to pull out a chicken, I'm going to be like, you can't fucking fit a chicken in a belt pouch, lady. I don't give a shit what you think.
It's a Hermione bag belt pouch.
Sure the fuck
That's
isn't,
a bag of
unless you
holding,
chose.
and no, the fuck it's not.
In this situation, it's bottomless bag, and I don't think bottomless bag fits into the criteria of the magic item that I was saying you were allowed to have.
I don't even remember what you said I was allowed to have.
When he asked if you could have a magic item, I said yes, of uncommon level or lower.
I didn't even look.
Yeah, I said it was
He said
too
it wasn't
complex.
important, so I was like, whatever.
Right.
So
Apparently it is.
I mean, if you want to have a bottomless bag, it is. My point in this whole thing is like, keep in mind, and this is me giving this to you for free. Just like he said, when I ask for clarification questions, that means that later I'm going to remember that. Like, it's like one of those video games, or one of those Telltale games. I don't know if you ever played one of those, but it's like Jeff remembers that for later. You know,
If I may make a recommendation, just based off of the character that you've painted, I would imagine she would have a rucksack with pots and pans for her travels.
that would make sense, because what the fuck are you going to cook on your belt pouches?
Also, one of the reasons our characters have never cooked.
Jairus has a backpack. I've made it clear Jairus has had a backpack. I've said it multiple times. Jairus has a backpack. Jairus takes his pack. Right? He doesn't keep pots and fucking pans in it. Actually, never mind. Jairus doesn't have a backpack. I have made it very clear that he has belt pouches.
I was going to say, I think we all have belt pouches.
A belt package and a pocketed cloak. My bad. Other versions of Jairus. Jairus is a character I've made many, many times. But I've made it clear what he does have and what he does hold. He keeps it light. I forgot this version of him keeps it light.
I love the idea of an Akatsuki with like a Jansport on.
It's funny. It's definitely funny. Yeah, he's got belt pouches and he's got pockets in his cloak. That's something that you don't really know, but now you know. It's a pocketed cloak.
Yeah. Oh, I actually do have a backpack. Oh, shit.
Yes. You don't necessarily have to carry it with you everywhere you go, but it's good to know if you have it or you don't.
Yeah.
Wait, did you guys get like a room at the inn or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could totally have left it in the room.
Correct. Which is why I said you don't have to carry it around with you everywhere you go. You may not have your backpack on you right now.
That's going to be fucking TTRPG magic. You're not always going to be carrying your bag, but you're going to eventually be like, hey, I pulled this out of my bag. And Jeff is going to be like, is it reasonable that they would have their bag with them in this situation? Yes. Okay.
Correct. That's a
because if in the middle of combat, Klep was like, Klep reaches into his backpack, Jeff immediately be like, no, he doesn't. Klep is not wearing his backpack right now, and you know that.
If in the middle of combat in a city, he's like, Klep reaches into his bag, I'll be like, you just got a room. You didn't put your backpack down? But if it was in the middle of combat in the forest, it'd be like, yeah, of course you're wearing your backpack. Yeah, fucking get stuff out of your backpack. Why would you not? Why would you put your fucking backpack down for combat? Like, no. You're in a forest.
Yeah.
There's context. There's always context.
Yeah. To be fair, Sorrel travels by herself a lot and works in a bunch of different places that already have pots and pans. And spices don't take up that much room.
Yeah, that's fair. Hey, listen. You can.
Are you moving forward? No backpack, no pots and pans?
Mm-hmm.
Was that the question?
Oh no.
Yes. He's giving you the option.
That question is already answered. She said that's how she travels. Too late. Question answered. You got no pots, no pans. You got no room for ingredients. So you're going to show up somewhere. I'm just going to paint this picture for you preemptively. You're going to show up somewhere like, I'm going to cook you something that's going to be great. And you're going to be in an office.
Be right back.
Right. You're going to be in an office somewhere. And so everybody's going to look around like, what?
I'm not going to drown you out, Jeff, but you can keep going. I just want to do this in the background. Wahoo, wahi, wahoo, wahoo, wahi,
I mean, you know, like I said, it's going to be a weird situation when you try to cook for somebody and you ain't got shit to cook with except for some spices you bought because that was so important. You're like, don't worry, spices.
I'm sure where they like. Okay, I'm assuming, but wherever this character is,
fire.
obviously, probably, maybe, most likely has a kitchen that has food.
Potentially, we'll see.
Especially if it's his favorite meal.
We'll see. Anyways, I just so there's a little roleplay 101. Keep in mind what your character is like and what your character is holding and why they would be holding it, because all of that stuff could be a stupid thing that comes right back up. Back into it.
I just
you want to buy spices? No. Herbs?
Yeah. Of course. I just need to restock on my like salt and stuff. That is the main ingredient.
All right. Yeah.
That meat's coming back.
He drank a lot of it, all right? And I drank almost a whole can of it myself.
You can get cans of mead?
Sure can. Depends on where you go.
It doesn't taste that great.
Sure
it's
can.
By the metal.
I'd show you on screen, but I can't really show you on screen. But like,
we do not endorse alcohol.
If you cover the mead, you can show me the logo.
Or just type it in the chat.
I'll show you later. We'll be here later. We're going to be done soon anyway. It's already 10:06. Fuck it.
You can actually just hold it up by your other mic because that's not in frame.
But by this mic?
No, the other mic that you're not using.
Oh, this one.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Looks like a pink lemonade.
It does, but it's not. It's lychee flavored. Isn't it fun? It's actually pretty good. Anywho's, so
we go to talk to Urcal Man.
No, you go to buy fucking
Oh yeah.
herbs.
We go to buy fucking spices.
We go to buy spices, but when that happens,
Clep, upon hearing this, goes,
I just real quick. We are essentially wanted men, and instead of going to try and square that up, we're gonna go buy spices.
Buy spices first. First.
Jairus looks at you and he goes, "She's a local. Maybe she knows something I don't." And just kind of shrugs and goes, "If you'll excuse me." And then immediately, as if by magic, but you just know it's not, he just does some weird maneuvers and it's hard to tell he's even there. He just manages to blend in.
Whoa. That's handy.
Clep quite literally is invisible.
Quep.
Yeah.
Quep's invisible.
In the duality of things, Clep rolled a nat 20 and has a +5 to evading. So
evading is hilariously the right one here.
I know. I have it written in my notes as such. Hiding in plain sight.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah. Y'all could
put up in the past.
Before he goes away, because somebody should say something, he goes, "I'll be there. Just be hard to see." And then, where'd he go? Hard to see.
Oh, wow.
I imagine this is, and this is just for role playing sake. I imagine this is probably Sorrel's first time seeing people essentially vanish like this.
Yeah.
Would you disagree?
Well, considering Sorrow will never be in this kind of situation to begin with. Yeah.
Okay.
To be clear, with the way the evading works, evading is basically the equivalent of like if you've ever played an Assassin's Creed game and you decide to walk along with the monks because you look enough like the monks that you can blend in. That's what evading is. In this game, there are two skills you can use to hide. And for the most part, it's always going to be sneaking is your major hide out of sight skill. But evading is blend in plain sight skill.
Got it.
Evading works better in cities.
Because you have a bunch of people around.
Correct. So it's like, if you look, because you know who you're looking for, you can be like, oh shit, there they are. But like, it's still even hard to even catch a glimpse of them here and there. That's how well they're just kind of, they've changed their gait. They've moved stuff around like in such, it's gone in such a way that like, maybe even Klepp is just kind of like on the underside of Winston, so he's harder to see. It just looks like Winston's walking around.
I was thinking he hopped off and is just walking shoulder to shoulder with Winston.
So Winston is basically blocking him from view.
On one side.
Sure. But regardless, they're blending in.
All right, I have a friend who has a stall just down the way, like about 10, 30 feet, something like that.
We're not near you.
Something like that. We're following. So you say that, hoping that we hear. Sure enough, you make your way. You find your friend. Here's what I'm going to do. This is something I've learned from playing some other systems. Tell me, what's your friend look like? And their stall. You do not have to go into extreme detail here. You can paint in broad strokes.
Okay. So the stall is what you would imagine a stall would be in like an open market, like a bazaar kind of a thing. And it has baskets full of like piled with spices like cayenne and paprika and all that fun stuff. And like
all the red spices.
Has dangling like leafy herbs like rosemary and basil and
all the green
like
spices.
That. Yep. And
just no yellows.
There's not one bit of turmeric in here. All right, don't even look for it. It's not here.
No, she has established that canonically her character hates the color yellow.
I'm aware, and I'm telling you, there's not one bit of turmeric in here. You'll never find it. That's why she comes to this guy. He doesn't keep turmeric.
There is a reason we're friends.
Turmeric, what's that for? To look at? Who cares?
So my friend's name is
Callan. Going the above and beyond. Okay, Talon. Okay.
Callan. I better write that down too.
It could come up.
Yeah, that's important for you.
Spice food.
Because this is now your NPC.
Yep.
Wait, am I gonna have to voice this?
No. I'm
okay.
Come on, don't be silly here.
I'm just asking.
You don't have to voice
he
the
is
NPCs.
now a point of contact for you.
You don't have to voice NPCs until you're the game master, or as Katie likes to say, the gay man. So,
so Callan is a forest elf with like short brown hair, normal clothes. I don't know. He has like a decent shirt on. It's not super fancy.
Right. He looks like a merchant. He's not.
Just a nice tunic.
There you go.
Yeah.
Basic merchant outfit, that kind of a thing. He's definitely older. He's an elf.
Sure. Old for an elf?
Yes.
Okay. This guy's
What
old.
does he sound like?
You're gonna give her that? You're gonna let her
Yeah.
choose that?
Yeah,
What's your plan for
I
me?
don't
It's
know if I
fun.
want to do that.
because
Yeah.
it's fun.
Fuck it.
Put
Give it a
our
shot.
residential voice actor through his fucking paces.
Yeah, fuck it. Go for it.
Like I haven't already done that with going out to a bar that he avoided. Okay.
Oh yeah. Well, elves in
He-
this system don't live quite as long. They can only be 500 years old. So he's probably like, I don't know, 300.
That's fair. Yeah. And he enjoys a good smoke, so like a cigar
Sure.
or like
Yes, he's got
pipe.
a
and so
Sure.
his
Elven
voice
smoker,
has
interesting.
matured into a more raspier kind of voice than what would normally be there.
done. You walk up to Callan. What do you say?
Hey, Callan, it's been a while. How are you?
It's good to see you. Sora. How are you?
I'm good. I just got back and I'm running low on a few spices. I need salt, I need pepper, and I need oregano.
Which type of pepper? Would you like
Ooh.
red, pink, white?
Let's
Yellow?
go with there's no yellow peppers.
He doesn't keep yellow pepper. That's why she comes here.
Okay,
There's-
let's
of
be
course,
clear.
there is
I'm not
also
talking about the
black.
vegetable pepper. I'm talking about like peppercorns.
Correct. There are red, pink, and white pepper. This is real world stuff. You wanted to play a foodie, and guess whose wife went to culinary school?
Oh, that's so freaking cool. Let me see. I got enough of that. Yeah, let's go with the pink. I need some pink.
Certainly.
Whoa, that's wrong. I was doing your voice.
Certainly. Anything else that I can get for you?
No, that should be good. Also,
You feel like a nudge on your side.
Don't forget the poison.
poison's not in this stall. But anyway, do you have any like special, since we're such old friends and I'm such a good customer? I always come to you first.
Yes, I've recently procured some galangal. It's very rare, much like ginger, but different in some very key ways, as well as I've gotten lemongrass.
Lemongrass, yes. How much for everything? I don't need a lot. I need enough to fit in my pouches.
For you, I'll do it all for 20 silver coin.
Ooh, what a bargain. Love it. Love you. You are a lifesaver. And then hands over the 20.
Yeah, he hands you several like small pouches filled with the different spices you've asked for. And he as he hands it over, he like holds your hand and he goes,
It is always a pleasure doing business with you.
And it's always so good to see you.
Tell
Stay
you-
well.
I will. Tell your family I say hi.
I will be sure to do that as soon as I visit.
You haven't visited. Shame.
I'm going to visit on my way out. You know how I am. You know how he is. He likes to talk and talk and talk.
Isn't that a bit of a pot and kettle scenario?
Yes, but it's not my fault. He raised me. What do you expect? Also, when was the last time you visited him?
Well, time is strange when you've lived as long as I have. It's hard to keep track of.
Yeah, true. You old goat.
I've still got at least a couple hundred good years left.
But anyway, it was good to see you. Be sure to visit him soon. I'm sure he misses you.
Certainly.
Definitely bring him some spices.
We'll see.
There was a perfect opportunity that you missed. She called you an old goat. She's the satyr.
Yo, you missed an opportunity.
That's what I was hoping
Yeah.
for. Now that truly is a pot and kettle.
So you buy your stuff. And around this point you feel a brush by your shoulder and you hear, "On our way then. Keep your eyes peeled. We've got to find one of these two. Preferably quickly." All right.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
I'm not sure what they look like, so you're gonna have to point them out.
So here's what I'm going to tell you. You know for sure what Gabriel looks like. You've been here. You're from here. He's not new. You may not know. I'll give you a roll for Garrick,
Mr. Urkow.
the Urkow. I'll give you a roll. Give me a knowledge roll for Garrick. Or give me an intelligence roll. Sorry.
19.
19.
Nice.
You happen to remember having one of your previous ways around having met Garrick. So you were lucky enough that you actually do know both of these people. Garrick's a bit of a loud, one of the loud sort. This big brown bear, sort of styled Urkow man. That was one of those boisterous talkers. Maybe even you had an interaction with him. I'll let you kind of fill that in if you want, but you at least remember meeting him.
Got it.
So now let's roll some awareness to see if we can find these people. I'm going to put the DC right at the front. So we're going to start with, it is a intermediate DC. If you want to find, the Urkow Garrick, but it is a difficult DC if you would like to find Gabbro. Now, what that means is intermediate is 13 or over. It's 13 is the DC.
Okay.
Difficult is 17. Right? So make an awareness check. Apply anything that applies.
Awareness check.
Would I be able to apply eavesdropping and perceiving?
Eavesdropping,
Eavesdropping through the town.
you can choose one. You cannot apply both.
Then it doesn't matter. Because if I could apply both, that would get me 213.
Can I? So we could apply perceiving?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see what we got.
Can I persuade?
I got a 21.
Woo!
She rolling shit far hot.
Yeah, damn. So we're approaching 10:30. So I didn't expect this to be a long one. Normally we might go till 11, but I'm just gonna front load everybody, including the people watching the stream. We're gonna make our way to the end here very soon. So, with a 21, you can find either, but with a 21, you meet the DC to have
What is
either.
it to find Felson himself?
You don't need a DC to find Felson, but you probably don't want to try to just storm into Felson's office.
It's fair.
So you do, whether it's something you already kind of knew, where maybe he hangs out, or whether it's just like you just kind of luck of the draw, you do happen to find Gabbro. Gabbro is a dwarven man with short, slick black hair and a salt and pepper beard, leaning slightly more pepper.
Grumpy son of a bitch.
So you do find him. The other two who are like traveling with you and trying to keep an eye open somehow are just too busy with trying to blend in and not gather more attention than
Flip
like
still thinks everyone's watching.
yeah. Klep is worried about every single person. Is that him? Are you after me? I'll kill you. Meanwhile, Jairus is just like trying his fucking damnedest to not be seen. So he's not doing great at seeing while he's trying not to be seen. But they are managing to follow you. So you find Gabbro, this dwarven man I've described. What do you want to do as you, either before you approach or as you approach?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I think I want before I. You good?
I'm just drinking.
That distracted me. Oh my goodness. Yeah. As I'm approaching,
Curses.
I'm going to kind of, or no, you guys aren't gonna come. I'm planning on approaching him. You guys aren't gonna follow me, are you?
Oh, they're already. Yes, they're following you.
Yeah, we
They're
would.
just not being
Okay.
overt.
They're just not.
They're just not being
How
overt.
well is their hearing?
Good enough. I mean, if you think that you're gonna try to talk in a low voice, then I'll make both of us roll perceiving or awareness.
Okay. And one more question. What is the scene like? Where is Gabbro?
When you find, so I'll ask you this actually. Do you think you would have some inkling as some of the places he lurks, or do you think you were just kind of a little bit lucky as to find him like just out in the street?
I think lucky to find him out in the street.
Okay, I love that. I love that you were so honest with it. So what happens is you do actually happen to find.
I know where he sleeps.
You do actually happen to find him on one of his rounds through the city, which was not entirely of luck because you kind of know who he is. You know he does these kind of things, so he's kind of making his way through the city. He's got some men with him.
He's on his way to get spices.
He's on his way. You bump into him. He was about to see your spice guy because he too hates yellow spice. No, he was on his way to see the other spice guy, not the poison one, the other spice guy. You know what I'm saying?
The one that gives you the little blue pill.
That's the one. So,
I knew a guy of his age needed that.
So, anyways, you find him on his rounds through the city as he does do some from time to time. He's got men with him, but they are not nearby him. He's the kind of guy that can kind of walk through the city like completely alone and would never be touched because of what that would mean. But he has people there as gophers that aren't near him, that aren't far from him, but aren't near either, you know? You find him not in the crowd either. The people give him kind of a berth. And he actually happens to be stopped in the moment you find him. He's stopped in front of a building. He's got his hands behind his back. He's like looking at the building as likely someone is doing some errand for him here, where he doesn't need to actually go inside for it, but he needs to stop.
Okay. So I see Gabbro and I decide to approach him. So I walk up to him and go, Gabriel, you might not remember me, but I'm the one that won the cooking contest last year, and I was wondering what your favorite food was because I am trying to expand my recipes, and I know you have a very particular palate, and I'm trying to expand my customer base.
Yes. Well, what an interesting thing to do. Are you attempting to open some sort of business within the city?
No, I figure there must be other people like you that have particular tastes, and I was wondering what yours are. Consider it market research, because you know I like to travel.
Well, personally, the dish that I'm the biggest fan of is an old dwarven dish. Stone soup.
Stone soup.
Yes, it reminds me of my younger days.
Did your mother make it for you?
Every young dwarf ate stone soup.
Aye, it must be the way you get all strong.
One of, yes.
Are you allergic to anything particular?
Nothing that you could feed me.
Bullshit.
Great. Also, I ran into some people, and they're my friends, so be nice. But they would like to talk to you, and I would like to make you the soup, and you can have a good conversation. Don't be mean to them.
He looks around, and you know what? Let's even test it. He looks around. Let's give him, I don't know, well, +3 seems reasonable. He doesn't see it. He doesn't see anybody. He looks around and he goes,
Your friends have business, one assumes.
I guess so.
If you wish to have business, meet me at my inn. I'll be there.
Remind me which one that is again.
It's the one well known to be mine. Thank you.
Okay.
This is the Deep
What
Rock
time
Inn.
are you planning being there?
Shortly.
Sweet. I will head over there, start making your soup, and we will discuss everything then.
Let's hope that all the business you wish to discuss is fruitful.
Fruitful.
and
Do you like fruit in your
he
soup?
proceeds to walk off as somebody, as clearly one of his gophers had come out. Not golfers. Gophers had come out. And
What
whatever
about golfers?
business.
I like that idea. Just
Wait,
bring
is it an
people
actual
in golfing
gopher?
attire. No, gophers standing for like you go for things. Like go get that, go do this, go do that.
Really funny if it was a gopher doing a gopher.
They're
Yeah,
all
it's
Kleppen. Every one of them.
Kleppen. It's a Kleppen. He's a gopher style Kleppen. Anyways, so one of the guys, he walks off before you even like finish. You could tell he's just like, he's not a man for a lot of fucking useless chit chat, and you've already kind of hit the bar on that for him. So he fucking moves on. And I think we're really gonna, like as I said earlier, we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah,
there.
we set up a rendezvous. We're good.
Yeah.
I think one last interaction where she just conveys that to us, which doesn't even need to be an interaction. Just, hey, do you convey that to us?
Let's start with this. The both of us would have been there, or at least somewhere nearby.
Mm-hmm.
Let's roll some awareness checks to see if we heard what had happened.
Oh, baby, I heard everything.
Yeah,
What a useless fucking roll. I rolled a nat 20 on it.
Love it. I love that for you.
All the times to
Nat
roll
20.
that.
I just heard a conversation that I fucking already heard.
Yeah, you heard the
You
fuck
really
out of
heard
it.
it.
You used your eavesdropping skills there, and you fucking heard it.
No, you were like behind me, hiding behind me.
He was hiding literally in your shadow, and he was just really hard to see because he's kind of small. So yeah,
Fuck it. I'm with Winston too. He's a big boy.
so yeah, you heard the whole fucking thing. Jairus didn't, but he comes up and he gets the lowdown. He goes, "What'd you say to him?" And you don't have to go through it, but you tell him.
Yeah.
So you have a location and you know where you're gonna meet, and we'll see if maybe we can help clear up this this sticky wicket that Jairus has found himself in by way of his unfortunate past. We'll catch up with that. Not next week, but the week after that for another episode of Mythcraft Country, which we will once again be joined by Tatiana as long as everything goes well. I don't know. You can look forward to more people joining us next session, as we may also have Ulven come in. Who the fuck knows? But until then, and we might have Jorn back. There's so many things up in the air.
It's
New
getting
friends.
spicy.
It's getting spicy out there.
We're talking a lot about spices today. Just stay on board.
So join us then. Until then, you can see us next week on Wednesday for Orum's Legacy, run by the wonderful Katie Mischief, where we play a game.
There.
We play a 3.5 Dungeons and Dragons game, and it'll be interesting because last session of that, which would have been last week, Henry's character, as Henry's characters do, died. So we'll see how that goes. I can't wait to see what other characters Henry has die in the future. It's just so exciting.
Hey, my next character has plot armor.
Sure, but
I don't actually know if that's fucking true. I just want it to be.
You just want it to be. We'll see. We'll see what next campaign you're in. We'll see if we can kill off whoever that is too.
Hell yeah! I gotta keep going.
You did say you hated Malik, so maybe. So
That was behind the screen. Crowd isn't supposed to know I hate my character.
No, you just hate the person that he is. You like playing him. So you'll see us here next Wednesday, and of course Wednesday after that we'll have System Overload. The Friday after that we'll have another episode of this. We know how it goes. If you know the program, you know the program. I hope that you had a good time here. I know that this was a weird one. I know we probably dropped off on what our normal stream numbers are, what our normal quality is. I'm sorry, that's my fault. I'm not the best at this. I'm just okay at it. But
You're
hopefully
doing fine, darling.
you'll come see us again. You fucking visual. You're lovely.
Peach.
I like to see you. You're a goddamn peach. So, as I've said, I'm Jeff. Those are the things you need to know about me. I'll come back around and close it out. Joining me, as per usual, was Henry.
'Tis I, the one and only on this stream, Henry.
Fair.
I played your favorite Kleppen. Klep.
Until somebody else makes a better one, I guess.
Yeah.
Unless you listen to something I almost forgot. So I do want to hit this real quick. If you're sitting here watching us, hey, you better go check out our friends Mythcraft the podcast. They are big friends of ours, big supporters. We love them. Should have done this at the top of the show, but the show got so crazy I forgot. So please go check them out. And maybe you'll have a favorite Kleppen there instead of one here. Who the fuck knows? But they're great. Wonderful podcast. Go check them out.
Fucking don't you stray from me. Okay? I will be the only Kleppen. It's been fun. Tonight was wild. Let's send it over to Tatiana.
Yes. Let's
I'm
finish the sign out with Tatiana.
I am Tatiana. I played the lovely satyr Sorrel, and you can find me on Instagram at Celestial Fairy Creations, and fairy is spelled Faerie. It's a weird spelling, but there's a reason for it.
I also want to touch, for those of you that don't know, she is the one doing she's not down there. She's over there.
Over there, yes. She's the one that has done the stickers. Has done our stickers so far. I don't want to listen. I don't want to get too in the mud here. I don't want to staple her to us like she owes us something she doesn't. But she has been lovely enough to provide some art for us, and may provide more in the future. We'll continue to give her shouts out for that. And we can't wait. We can't wait to see whatever she wishes to spew out of her beautiful mind. And if you happen to need art, look her up on Instagram, the handle she just gave you. Maybe you can commission some work from her, as we have. All that being said, again, I'm Jeff. This has been Mythcraft Country, where we do some weird shit, but hopefully you like it. Go check out Mythcraft the podcast, and if you've got time after that, go check out the Torchlit Tavern podcast. We're pretty fucking proud of that too. It is heavy. Except for the last one that just came out is a goof reel. So go watch the goof reel, I guess. Goof reel's fun. Oh, listen, don't watch it. It'd be weird to just watch your Spotify for a while. Anyways, have a great rest of your night. Have a wonderful weekend. And most of all, craft good stories.
Craft good stories.
I thought it was tell good stories.